Hello, world. Welcome to Collider Convo, where we chat with the innovative leaders driving the next wave of digital business solutions around industries. My name is Ryan.
I'm Jacob.
And together we run Collider, where business leaders go to collaborate, get unstuck, and supercharge their digital strategy.
Collider is powered by Altimetrik, a pure play data and digital engineering services company focused on business growth.
Please be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and visit collider.com to learn how Collider and Altimetrik can help catalyze your digital business strategy.
Thank you, Ryan. And so today we have a very exciting conversation. We're talking about what it takes to drive digital business solutions for the financial services industry. And we're joined by some very special guests who are experts in this field. We've got Gautam Makhani, client partner at Altimetrik. Wave to the people, Gautam. Jay Ramalangam, engineering leader at Altimetrik, and Pranav Muralidharan, product manager at Altimetrik. So for some quick context before we kick things off, within the financial services industry, and specifically, we'll be diving a bit deeper into asset management and some other specific things here. There's been an increasing trend towards self-directed, seamless experience for customers. Over COVID-19, it'll be no surprise to anyone that there have been increasing expectations around what online services look like. And companies that are not keeping up with this trend are increasingly falling behind. Today, we're going to dive a bit deeper into the opportunities presented by these trends and specifically home in on how one large asset management company drove a successful digital business refresh, revamping their service experience for their advisors and shareholders while bolstering their approach to regulatory and compliance and security all at the same time. And so with that, I'd love to kick it off by asking, let's start with Gautam. So tell us a bit about the type of work you do at Altimetrik.
Sure, Jacob, thank you. So I am a client partner at Altimetrik. So I help our clients along their digital business journey for their solutions. And I apply the power of Altimetrik to help them solve their digital business problems. I do serve mostly financial services clients, but as you know, we serve all industries. And with respect to my background, I've been working in tech for over, I'd say, a long time. And at Altimetrik, I've been here for over 3 years. And prior to this, I was at IBM, also working with large financial services firms, global banks, around their solutions. So everything from Swift payments, B2B integrations, things like that. And I'm very happy with the success we've had with our clients.
That's great. And so we've got a international team here joining us, which is very exciting. Gautam, you're tuning in from California, correct?
That's correct, yes.
And our other two guests are all the way from India, across the world. So let's kick it off with Jay. Tell us a bit about yourself and the type of work you do. And where are you tuning in from specifically?
Hey, Jacob. To meet you. I'm connecting from Chennai, India, and good to connect with all of you. It's truly a global collaboration. I lead the engineering team for the delivery for Putnam Engineering work on digital business transformation, what we have delivered to the fund management company. And I led the engineering delivery team to work in an agile manner, collaboratively with the customers, understand the business landscape, and deliver the solution for the last 18 months.
Wonderful.
And I do have the experience of around 20 plus years. And I worked in the past with UBS, Union Bank of Switzerland, for almost 10 years. I was leading their engineering solutions for the Zurich market.
Wow, very cool. And Pranav, where are you tuning in from, and tell us a bit about your type of work you do?
Hey, hi all. So I'm also being tuned in from Chennai. So thanks for inviting me out here. And I work as a product manager in Altimetrik. I've got a vast experience of 12 years, both in the financial as well as in the data side of the industry. I've been with two Fortune 500 companies. One is with Pfizer and the other one is with Walmart. So these two are the two biggies which I have in my experience and career. So with the Altimetrik, I am basically the product manager who is taking care of the program as well as the product side for the project called Putnam, where a huge amount of work is going on. And in fact, we have brought in a lot of rewards for Altimetrik and names for the customer.
Great.
Got it. Well, thanks guys so much. So, I mean, if I totaled it up correctly, we've got close to like 4 decades of experience in the room today, which is amazing. So I know that everything hasn't been up and down, or everything hasn't been smooth sailing. So can you all talk about the landscape, especially like some of the challenges faced by financial services and fund management companies today?
Yeah, sure. I can talk about it, Ryan. So I'd break it down into 3 buckets. So fund management companies are seeing rising customer demands. So as you know, I think primarily if you look at Amazon and the change that it has brought out to digital business, customers are expecting the same kind of seamless digitized experience from fund management companies. And previously they used to operate in a sort of a very different line where you'd have an advisor make calls and go out face-to-face meetings. Now there is a real expectation of self-service, digitized omni-channel experience. So I'd call that as one challenge that they have to face. The other one, and the other big thing that's going on in the industry, is cloud migration. And as these fund management companies, they have hundreds and hundreds of applications. They all need to move to the cloud. They're all moving to the cloud to streamline operations and reduce costs. So this squeeze for getting more efficiencies, that is really putting a lot of pressure and challenges on these fund management companies. So everything has to move to the cloud if it was on-prem, and new applications have to be sort of cloud native in some sense. So that's one challenge. And the third bucket, I'd call it, is around cybersecurity and regulation. As we know, the world is facing a lot of threats from cybersecurity. And that is where fund management companies, they need to make sure that every access to the assets, customer assets, et cetera, has to be very secure, guarded with MFA, and breaches can really hurt their brand. So there's a lot of focus on security and making sure that their systems are very secure. So these are what I'd call like 3 trends. And Pranav and Jay, if you want to add anything else, please feel free.
Yes, Gautam, I agree with that. The security landscape is pretty important right now in the financial sector, being post-COVID, I would say, since most of us are connected in the online world right now. And when it deals with financial sector, what we deal is with money. So since money is playing a factor, it is highly important to have a security. So if there is no proper security, definitely we are going to lose clients in the financial world for specific companies. So I think that is definitely an important point which you highlighted, Gautam. And I think probably Jai can also chime in on some more points as the engineering perspective on how we basically landed on it.
Right. So being a fund manager in the market in US, Putnam had a lot of challenges in terms of bringing in a standard multi-factor authentication system for their stakeholders so that it meets the industry demands. And it also has become a regulation by the government to adopt multi-factor authentication for any online financial service provider. So that brought in a challenge to bring the multi-factor authentication system into the Putnam's landscape and bring this digital business transformation service, which we worked with Putnam, and completely transform the user experience of all the fund shareholders, internal employees, and the advisors, the multiple personas of Putnam ecosystem, bringing into this whole new digital transformation world where the highly secured environment was a big challenge for the engineering team to take it up and deliver to their needs.
So two quick questions. One is, first of all, I suppose Gautam or whoever, tell us a bit about Putnam. So you mentioned Putnam. That's the large wealth management company that I alluded to in the intro. Tell us a bit about Putnam Investments and what type of company are we talking about here?
So Putnam is a very well-respected fund management firm. They've been in business for, I'd say, over 80 years, about 200 billion assets under management. So Putnam, as a company, so they wanted to improve. So they've gone through a sort of a transformation around their sales and marketing a few years ago, and what they were lacking was around their service offering. So they had sort of an innovation around sales and digital sales and marketing, and what needed to be done was around their service. So that would complete the whole life cycle. So that's where they turned to Altimetrik and said, how can we help them? And that's how we got in the game.
Got you. So we're going to dive a bit deeper into specifically the what that solution looked like in a moment, but back to the landscape real quick. So a couple of you alluded to compliance and regulation. I just had one quick clarification question, which is, in addition to just like every industry looking to get more secure, and with this data being particularly sensitive, being financial data, is that I assume there's also regulation, as in like government regulation. So there's like requirements of a certain level of security beyond just it being in the company's interest. Am I understanding that correctly?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, just making sure I'm understanding what you mean. Perfect. So given those kind of high level challenges that you all laid out, what do you then see as being basically like the key business trends? So like, how are businesses in this kind of general sector responding to those challenges, and what are you seeing in the industry in terms of activity?
So one thing that I particularly noticed around fund management companies like Putnam is they're under pressure to provide greater breadth and depth of offerings for their customers. So Putnam recently has got into ESGs. That's the new one, and also ETFs. So their offerings, they have to increase the offerings to based on customer demand and expectations. Also, as you know, the world has gone crypto. So there's different kinds of financial offerings out there that customers have a choice of. And these fund managers have to compete in order to get the client's business. And also, there's a lot of increased competition and lowering of costs and margins. So if you look at what the expense ratio has been, it's been steadily decreasing over time. And the customer's expectation is to continually decrease that. So there is a pressure on costs and margins. That's a key business trend. And also, just like I said, the depth of offerings that companies have to go in. So they have to offer more products, and the rising competition from fintechs, especially around crypto and such. So all of that sort of is having an impact on their on the marketplace, right, and the competition.
So we're talking about the marketplace. We're talking about these trends and risks, right? But with great risks come great rewards or even opportunities. So can we talk about what your biggest opportunities have been, or even like, can you all explain what you're most excited about?
Yeah, so I'll take a crack at that. I think, given where Altimetrik is and our experience and knowledge, Personally, I'd say, from our offering perspective and the kind of skills that we have, we're excited to use our skills and apply that to our customer digital business solutions to help them build those out, deploy them, go to market, help them succeed and provide that success, right? So that is one part which I'm personally excited about. But Pranav, Jay, what gets you excited?
I would like to add a couple of more points. Altimetrik being in a decade in the market of digital business services, right? We have a lot of expertise in terms of handling the subject matter expertise in terms of handling the financial domain and deliver value to our customers beyond what they ask for, as well as we also have a strong engineering rigor to ensure that the customers' need is delivered accurately to what do they look for in terms of performance, security, business functionality. We also follow a strong engineering rigor to offer our customer the best-in-class services to realize the dream that they want to achieve for in terms of transforming their business from a current level to the next level. That we could able to do that. That excites me a lot.
Yeah, helping people get to their dream is definitely lovely. I'm glad you're excited about that.
Yep. One other success story I would like to say what excited me the most. Putnam is a very old investment house which is there in the US, which deals with more number of customers down there. So if you take into account of such a big investment house and we are making that change, that is where the excitement starts. So we are going to deal with a third-party vendor-based integration. We are going to deal with legacy systems which needs to be integrated. So all these things had to be, it is a very big program that we are going to introduce. So what we did with our expertise and as consultants, right, we basically took in the concept of having the project being split into two. One is a programmatic value chain and another one is specific to the development value chain. So as part of the program value chain, we had multiple interactions with the customer, assisted them in prioritizations on the process. Post prioritization, we then brought it into the development value chain, translating each and every bit of what the customer requirements are. And then this helped our development teams to basically push forward with new thought process on how innovation can drive the business for Putnam. So being part of Altimetrik and being part of Putnam's success story was the most exciting part for me, I would say, as a product manager.
That's great. Ryan and I get to talk to a lot of different members of the Altimetrik team, and a consistent theme is that, we work with a lot of clients that aren't digitally native, that are dealing with these, really fast-paced changing industries and changing, customer demands and the like. So it's really cool that our team is able to step in and offer, our core expertise in ways that can really, support companies so that they can focus on their core competency, right? I mean, the asset management company, their core competency is presumably asset management. So it's great that Altimetrik can help them do that while also keeping up with those demands and compliance and security and all that. So thanks, guys. I think what I'd love to dive into next is that in a bit more detail. So if you all could, we've been talking at a high level about how Altimetrik supported Putnam in these ways, but I'd love to go into kind of the next level of detail. So let's break it down a bit in terms of Altimetrik's specific approach of turning a company like Putnam into a full-fledged digital business in ways that they might not have been previously. Could we just, get into a bit more of the specifics? Maybe starting with you, Gautam.
Sure. Yeah. So this is, again, like we talked about, it's around their transformation of on the service side. So digital solutions for their service. So we started at Putnam with the discovery or a business value assessment that did a thorough analysis of their current state. So trying to understand what was the current state. And this was more of a management consulting type of engagement, where I was personally involved. I interviewed Putnam's advisors and I could understand firsthand what the issues were. And one, I'll give you a telling quote was, the advisors actually said, on the interviews that if the service experience was better, they would be able to steer more of their clients' funds into Putnam assets. So that business value assessment, which sort of was basically a thorough analysis of the current state, what's the value of the future state. It laid out a business case and the journey that helped our sponsor, get funding to improve the service side, and that's how the digital business solution journey got started. So Pranav, I'll hand it off to you to talk of the next step in the process.
Sure, Gautam. Thank you. So post we received all the requirements and other stuff, the next step was to understand how we are going to get these puzzles fixed and get a picture view on how the project is going to run through. So what we did in specific is we connected with the vendor who is going to do the complete backend operation for Putnam. We understood each and every single API that is going to be used by decoding their system and understanding it better and framing proper documentations so that we can map it with Putnam's requirements and then create a specific story in which the machine runs from the input till the output. So through this process, we also took in the concept of, as I earlier said, we took the program value chain, where we basically brought in the prioritizations of the screens that are going to be developed and the stitching that needs to be done with the vendor's application, as well as Putnam's legacy systems, because their business continuity is also very important for us. So we took their legacy systems, stitched it. So once we stitched it, we placed it which are the parts that needs to be flow as part of step 1, step 2, and different steps. And then we transferred it into different iterations through the Agile framework into multiple sprints. And then we took the development team forward with milestone-based agenda by churning out all the inputs and then giving it wonderful colors, in which we had a very good result from the customer side. And now we have a happy customer, and Altimetrik is also happy to be part of Putnam's happy journey.
Yeah, I would like to add the next step that what we did right after the discovery phase. So the blueprint for the successful transformation was laid. Like Pranav said, we have also adopted the agile transformation approach. The agile driven the deployment phase was very much collaborative with the customer. We mostly engage them in a day-to-day basis, and also we formed a run-ahead team, so which would focus on the upcoming work that is needed, so that just-in-time UX when the customer was delivering, because it was going on in parallel with our business team was working on the UX design. The development was taken up in parallel to that. So truly a agile collaborative approach with the global business team, and that helped us to deliver our solution on time with a good quality. And our skilled engineers worked on implementing the whole user stories and guided this journey with the product manager like Pranav, and the result was amazing. And we delivered closer to 35 screens and also around 67 backend API integrations with SSNC. It's like an 18 months effort and a peak size of closer to 25 people we had. And we faced challenges like more complex business rules, and also like to adapt to the culture, the tools, technology of Putnam platform engineering. It was very much challenging for us. And together we were able to achieve the result, and we could deliver it successfully.
Okay, so thank you, Jay, so much for like delivering it home for us. But if you all can just clarify some more, especially on the client side, like when we're working with these clients and things like that, is it led by technology, or are we more so business oriented? Or can you explain the balance between
Let me take a shot.
Okay.
The challenge was to understand the Putnam's existing landscape. Like the Putnam is a currently running business. They have a huge customer base, and a large asset to manage. There are existing applications which are legacy application. The key challenge is to understand the current system of engineering and then do the functional study of the whole business, do a reverse engineering, then do the business transformation. That's where Altimetrik, the subject matter expertise, help them to bring out that bit-size approach to study each and every user journeys for various personas. Putnam is being used by Putnam internal employees and being used by their shareholders and being used by the advisors across the US market. And these personas have different user stories the system have to support it. So to break it into a bit-sized approach and then deliver an engineering solution was a key challenge for us to conquer, and our team was able to do it successfully.
And at the highest level, though, like that is like you're working with the leadership on the business side to drive those decisions, if I'm understanding correctly.
You're right. So we have a weekly stakeholder connects with the entire Putnam leadership team, from marketing team to their operations team and their sales team, the finance team, the whole leadership of Putnam different business verticals, along with their IT head. We worked with Putnam leadership team and we were able to present our delivery outcome on a weekly basis and then get their feedback and implement it on a weekly basis. And we were able to deliver it on time.
Got you. And Gautam, could you expand on the, so like you know, Jay's sharing about, you know, the bite-size approach and things like that. So it's my understanding that a lot of times when companies approach, you know, kind of this broader trend of digital transformation, that they try to like take on everything all at the same time and switch all their systems over and everything. So we're talking about a very comprehensive, you know, changes for Putnam. Could you explain from your perspective a bit more about what does the bite-size approach mean in this context?
Yeah, so this is something we at Altimetrik live and breathe every day. This bite-sized approach is a very proven, successful methodology. So I'll just hark back to the solution outline. So we didn't actually go in and start implementing right away. So after our sponsor got the funding, what we did was a very you know, what we call it a solution outline phase, a 2-month engagement that just did, you know, study and then said, here's a blueprint for a successful transformation. So with that blueprint in mind, that sort of, it's not a complete, detailed, comprehensive sort of analysis, but it's enough to get you started along this journey. And after that, when we got into this deployment, we took that agile approach. Again, as Jay mentioned, right, we have these run ahead teams. So we'd look at saying, okay, for this next month, here's the target, here are the stories that we want to achieve. And each of those stories have a measurable outcome. So i.e. a business benefit that is very tangible, can be seen, and it's very credible. And all of that sort of adds to the success of the project. So one thing that, you know, sometimes laymen or lay people don't understand is IT projects have a lot of risk, especially big projects like these. And there's about a 30 to 35% failure rate in these projects. And what we have seen and what we've experienced here is this agile-driven development. It really helps us ensure the success of the project. So this bite-sized incremental outcomes. So in every, you know, month, every couple months, there is improvement, there is incremental improvement. It's not everything flows in, so you don't get the whole system delivered in, like, you know, we don't wait for like 18 months to get the whole system up, but every month we are having measurable progress.
That's great. That makes a ton of sense. Thank you. So I know we dove into this a bit before, but I'd love just a bit more detail on the risk and compliance component. So you're talking about the risk from the standpoint of the changes being made to the business, but could you speak just in a bit more detail about what what it looked like to make sure that these systems were secured properly to meet all of the compliance needs of a client like this.
So the client security is predominantly designed by the authentication and authorization mechanism that's built over the system. The users were identified by the third-party authentication system, like the LexisNexis is identified as a multi-factor authentication system. Basically, the user has to be validated by more than one factor to ensure that the right user is getting into the system. That was the need for the financial services company to operate in US market. It's more like a government mandatory compliance standard. And Putnam adopted this for this digital transformation solution. And in addition to that, all the advisors in the market in financial industry are validated by CIAM, CAAM, that's another third-party system, where our business, the digital transformation system, interact with SIAM to get the authentication token, to get the right advisor getting into the Putnam system. And that needs a tight security integration from the digital investor application to the third-party authentication sources, so that the right validation is done and the right user is entered with the right authorization. That's a key ask for any financial service provider in the market.
And probably to add on with what Jay had mentioned, one other aspect was the data that is being displayed for the user and which is being stored at Putnam end, that needs to also be secured. So, we are in the online world, right? Anybody can just get in and just steal your identity. So we had to secure those kind of identities. For example, a user's social security number. All these things had to be ciphered well. And we basically gave a guarantee to Putnam that we will not be storing any of these data in our systems. And we ensured that many of these data are being secured at the respected slot with a lot of security, so that the identity theft does not take place.
And so fast forward to today. So y'all, I think you said you've been working on the project for like a year and a half or so, if I'm not mistaken. What does it look like today? I mean, what's like the final product, or is the transformation ongoing? Yeah, like tell us what the final state looks like.
So as of now, it's been, I'd say it's not been an easy, here's, we got it done. The project has turned out to be more complex than we had estimated. However, being Altimetrik, we were able to understand, what needed to be done. And the client is looking at a successful launch in the second week of August. So we are now in prod. So Jay, maybe I'll ask you to comment on our production deployment. So
we are releasing the production version of the software to Putnam users by persona. As I said in my earlier conversation, Putnam uses the digital investor application for their internal employees to access the shareholder information and provide the customer care services. Then by the shareholders directly, who are empowered to look, buy, sell, and look at their reports, and the advisors to join and help the shareholders for better investment advices. So these persona by persona, we are releasing the software, and next week the software is going live for all the shareholders, and after a couple of weeks we are going live for the advisors as well. So we are excited about how the whole the shareholders community is going to feel about this new digital experience on Putnam Fund Management.
Wow, that's exciting. Well, you all got a big week ahead next week, so good luck there. And it's been great hearing how competent and how awesome Altimetrik has been and instrumental in this, just basically bringing forth success for our clients. So I'm wondering though, if we didn't touch on other success stories, or is there something else that you all want to mention that could potentially highlight even more how awesome Altimetrik is?
One thing what I can talk about, Altimetrik part working out here and giving this kind of success stories is that it's especially that leadership, people like Jay and Gautam who were giving us a free hand to run through the complete project, understanding on third-party systems, giving us a free hand to run around on the project, plan our project better, plan our days better. So all these things basically aided us for this success story is what I would say. So I would like to thank even our management for being supportive on us, on giving us leverage on running through this project.
In addition to that, maybe I can add one more point. The team has now very good functional understanding of the fund management as a business functionality, how Putnam is able to handle. So like our team, when the user acceptance testing was started, they were learning the business functionality test cases. Now they have mastered it. They tell the user how the system works for the business functions. Like it's from crawling the stage to leading it, right? By example, that's another big success story. Now we have built like the fund management expertise and in fact, very good testers, developers in terms of our skill sets on delivering the financial services solution have really reached another milestone by delivering the solution.
So I will add on. We've heard about Putnam from Jay and Pranav. So I'll just provide another client story here. And this is by no means as extensive and as big as Putnam, but this is something that I was personally involved with. So I had led a small data science AI team at PayPal, which is one of our biggest clients. And we were working on their document management system. So in the process of doing that, we were able to file for a patent, and the patent is pending, and that provided a valuable piece of IP content to PayPal. So we not only just delivered a solution, but we added on to their IP collateral and provided them with the patent. I mean, so I think that is sort of a testament about Altimetrik's service to its clients and its engineering excellence.
Whoa. Well, thank you. Thank you all, gentlemen. This has been great. We don't want to keep you too long. We know that you've got busy days ahead, a busy schedule ahead. But if we can start to wrap it up, I'm wondering if you all are able and willing to have listeners potentially learn more. If so, where can they go to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am on LinkedIn. So if you search for my name, Gautam Makhani, Altimetrik, that should definitely pop up. And by all means, feel free to shoot me, on LinkedIn, or you can send me an email at gmakhani@altimetrik.com.
Got it. And
Yeah.
I mean, we can help you all with that too. We can, listeners, if you all are maybe a little bit shy, you can definitely go to collider.altimetrik.com to learn how Altimetrik can help catalyze your digital business strategy. Are there any final thoughts before we go?
Most of the financial services company are in need of a digital business transformation. Being an industry expert for a decade, Altimetrik can definitely help them to have a successful rollout of their digital transformation and digital business transformation for them.
Probably all I could say is, if you have a problem, we at Altimetrix are waiting here to resolve it. So, waiting for you guys.
At your service, huh?
Yeah, at your service.
We said it, Pranav and Jay said it. So we have a proven success with our clients, and we're happy to help them with their digital business solutions and that journey.
Thank you, gentlemen, for all of your insights. I know that I learned a ton today, just about kind of what the opportunities look like for the financial services industry and for wealth managers, and specifically what this type of digital business, overhaul can look like. Very exciting to just hear about it in more detail from some experts. So really appreciate that. For those tuning in, please remember to like and subscribe. And share this with your peers. Really looking to get the word out about just a more effective approach for how to drive digital business solutions that our team has really cracked here. And we're really excited to help bring everyone into the digital era here. So with that, thank you for tuning in. Thank you all so much for sharing your wisdom. And we look forward to hearing more about the successful rollout as things continue to get deployed.
Yeah. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.